And ooh, cheap headphones. Gotta remember that. Let me bookmark that. What's up, everybody? We are live Tuesday, July 10th. Last night was indifferent for me, although looks like someone picked another home run. Starting to think I'm pretty good at this. Uh-oh, Jake's frozen. Nope, now you're good.
All right, good.
That was weird. Yeah, Yonder Alonso, just noted slugger when picked by me. Jake, how'd your night go?
The night could have gone better. I was due for a bad one, and I had it. So it's all right. 15 games, though. Maybe we'll find some stuff we like. It's a lot of games we were talking about, but
yeah,
maybe talking to each other will help us find some clarity on this slate.
It can't get worse, you know?
Yeah.
We'll find something looking at this slate, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. We'll give a minute or two for a couple people to trickle in, and then we'll tackle it. Wow. Ooh. Fulham, big signing.
Ooh.
What?
For NBA?
No, soccer.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there's soccer on today too. I gotta watch that.
Is World Cup on?
Yeah. I cannot believe that I got another home run last night. Takes the lead on unique days. Chris and I are still tied in total home runs. Ooh, almost got that fly. It's gonna be great when I get him during the middle of the show and I just go insane.
What's up, Shrek? What's up, Lorenza?
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably
Jason,
an ad that you
Wayne.
saw. We are now a monetized YouTube channel, so throwing a bunch of crappy ads your way.
Good.
Ooh, is that why people have been like slower to come in? You get like a crappy ad to start? That's funny. Sit
And
through
you
it.
get-
Hey, click on it.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I should click on it. It'll pop out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Still be able to see us.
Yeah, every little trickle helps.
So Holland's been pitching out of the bullpen. What the hell?
Thanks for the Pirates. Quite welcome. Pirates went well yesterday. I expected to have a better day. I had a lot of the things that went well, but I guess not enough Danny Duffy. Cole was awesome.
Yeah. Cole was awesome.
I would have liked to see more than 6 innings, but I mean, he had 11 Ks, so I'm not really in any position to complain. But having a third of the exposure to Danny Duffy wasn't going to help.
Erod was good.
Yeah.
I don't know who's my Urena. I think he had double digits, but he wasn't anything special. So
Oh, man. All right, I think we are ready to dive in. So let's do it. 15 games, lots to talk about. There are definitely going to be some games where we do not talk about much. Those will be the games that I prefer. Waiting on ownership as well, so keep an eye on that. Once it pops out, we'll get that in here. But let's get started. Nats and Pirates. Nats, 4.5 run implied total. Pirates, 4.3. It's a 52% chance to win for the Nats. Jeremy Hellickson going for Washington. I feel like he pitched yesterday. God, these days just go so quickly. Joe Musgrove going for Pittsburgh. That's a name I feel like I haven't said in a while. I don't have a ton of interest in either of these guys. You know, little trickles here and there are fine. I don't expect either of them to be getting any ownership. Do you have anything interesting to talk about for Hellickson or Musgrove?
nope, not really. They're both not great against the opposite hand, which is fine. So I like the lefties against Musgrove. I mean, I'm almost always going to like the Nats lefties against a righty. And another lowish total for the Nationals, and it's 85 degrees and wind blowing out a little bit. So I like the Nationals once again. That's going to be nothing new. And then the Pirates, some of these cheap guys like Dickerson and Moran and Bell, I'll be targeting some of them again. So kind of same as yesterday.
Yeah, I have a little bit of Pirates again, and it's just, I mean, this time it's a little more interesting because I don't really think Hellickson's any good. So those cheap Pirates prices are still here to be capitalized on. Josh Bell under 3,000 on FanDuel. Polanco under 3. Moran 2,400. So basically, yeah, I'm with you. Everything that I said yesterday about the Pirates kind of holds true today. They're a really cheap team to be able to work in if you need like cheaper outfielder bats.
Mm-hmm.
Cervelli up $500 on FanDuel now, not the stone cold lock that he has been the past couple days.
Yeah, that's not a stone cold lock, but still pretty cheap.
At minimum salary, hitting fifth, that's a stone cold lock for me. It's just hard, like to get somebody that high up the order in a minimum salary is pretty tough to do, especially with a catcher who you know isn't going to get like pinch hit for in the middle of the game, or at least generally speaking, not going to happen.
Right.
What do you think of the Nats here? Any interest?
Yeah, I like the lefties. I mean, just Musgrove giving up. You're not striking out a lot of lefties, giving up hard contact. So it's two things that I like. And these guys are just really, really good, 1 through 7. So I'm not crazy about Wieters, but if you need a catcher for 3,100, I think he's fine.
Ooh, he's bad.
Yeah, he's not great, but he's better than Severino. I'll tell you that.
Sure. That's a pretty low bar to cross.
It is. It is a very low bar.
Yeah, I guess I'm fine with like the Soto, Harper, Adams, Murphy guys. I'm always fine with Turner, Rendon. I didn't really get much of the Nats. Feel like I should, but they're expensive. 5,400 for Turner is a lot. 4,800 for Soto is a lot. 5,200 for Harper is not a lot. They're really hard to get to financially.
Yeah.
But I don't have any problem having them.
Me either. So I don't feel great about much pitching today. So when that happens, I usually just try to pay down and mix and match guys. So I'll be able to afford some Nats bats in a lot of my teams.
Sure.
By the way, did you see the ownership for the Red Sox yesterday and like the four-seamer, the $4?
No.
It's like 30%.
For the Red Sox?
Yeah. Some of them, like Pierce was like 28. Betts was around there, and so was JD.
That's a lot for those guys, man. I mean, I guess that's what happens when Duffy's going to get 24% ownership. I guess that was like the combo.
I suppose. But, yeah, I was really shocked. Like Mookie, 27. I'm looking at it right now, and let's see where my other teams are. JD, 29.9. Pierce, 38.9. That was the one that I was like, what are we doing?
Well, Pierce is cheap. That one doesn't shock me so much.
And he's good, but 40% on a 9-game slate for a hitter?
The Betts and JD numbers stand out more to me.
Yeah. And I mean, the Nationals were 7.5% for Soto, 1.9 for Eaton. Like the Brewers were all way under owned. So, I mean, I would have completely faded the Red Sox, I think, had I known they were going to be the overwhelming chalk, even over Cleveland. And that wouldn't have worked out, but I would have felt a lot better about the Boston fade.
Oh, yeah. Corey Corsi, my home run call was Yonder Alonso yesterday. So just follow me for home run calls, because they're never wrong, apparently. Let's move on. This one, oh, that's not how you spell Yankees. Not 2 A's in Yankees.
Yankees.
Yankees, 5.6 run implied total. Tied for first on the slate. Orioles, 4. The 66% chance to win for the Yanks. Masahiro Tanaka going for New York. Andrew Kashner going for Baltimore. I'll have some Tanaka. No reason not to, especially with the Orioles only having a 4-run implied total. This will probably be the day that they break out, the day that I don't stack them. So I'm going to have a decent amount of Tanaka, and I love the Yanks today. One of my favorite stacks of the day.
Yeah, so the Yankees are like one of the pretty obvious stacks. I think Kashner, especially against lefties, is not very good. Not very good overall. Can't miss bats. It's a hitter's park. It's 90 degrees. Like that's enough talk about the Yankees bats because they're all awesome plays 1 through 8. Really, I like Romine actually for 3,500, and then Tanaka against the Orioles is super interesting to me. 9,100 I think is going to be enough to keep a lot of people off of him through 69 pitches in his rehab start, and then I probably give him 90 is probably his max, which if he can get to like 6 innings, I think he can get over a strikeout per inning against this Baltimore team who is super undisciplined. And then Tanaka was getting a ton of whiffs before his injury. So if he's right, and I mean, it's always risky to start a guy that's coming off a long layoff, but if he's right, I think that he could have like 7, 8, 9 strikeouts here in limited innings.
I agree completely. This is a really good spot for him. The Orioles are a great team to come back to. It could get scary, it could be bomb city if it goes a little bit wrong, but
sure,
there's so much swing and miss in that Orioles lineup. He's going to be hard to avoid today.
I agree.
Yankees bats, number 1 stack for me on DraftKings, number 3 on FanDuel. What are you thinking?
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, if anybody says they're number 1, I wouldn't argue with that. I think I have one team that we'll talk about that can rival them, but yeah, they're awesome for sure. Top 3 for me. It's just going to be an ownership thing. I wonder how out of control their ownership's going to be.
I don't think it'll be too bad because of the way they're constructed. Gardner, Judge, Hicks, Stanton, all relatively expensive and outfield bats. So I think they'll naturally keep each other down. I'd expect one guy to get, I would expect Stanton to get loose from everybody else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I'd say they'll just naturally keep themselves down because they're hard to stack cleanly.
Okay.
At least
and ownership actually is out.
I mean, they're going to be owned. They're going to be a chalk stack for sure. But I think you'll be able to make some non-chalky stacks just by using some of those, using Aaron Hicks or using Brett Gardner.
Sure.
Are they useful?
Yeah, I think they look fine. I'm seeing Verlander up top, so
of course
pitchers are there. Let's see. It may not be all perfect, but yeah, we've got Bauer being pretty low owned.
Yeah, this is shaking out exactly like I expected, which is kind of scary.
All right, here we go.
Okie dokie. Let's
My
hop
boy
back.
Teron.
Owned?
He's up there. Yeah, he's owned. I mean, not out of control, but
stack again. Ooh, and Blue Jays are not owned as a stack, so I am planting a flag against my Braves today.
Once again.
Yeah, I mean, not that that's anything new. I love it. I mean, if Tehran's going to be 21% owned, I'll happily be over the field and take my chances.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fine. He's the kind of guy to leverage stack against. So
yeah. I'm just gonna hop back to the Nats game quick just to see if there's anything interesting from the ownership that we would have missed. Pirates will have some ownership, pretty chalky on FanDuel. Again, that's expected with their price point. Hardly any expected ownership going to the Nationals, so, and no ownership to Hellickson or Musgrove. Yeah, I think there might be an inefficiency there for the Nats. I would try to work them in a little bit more than what the public is showing, or at least what we're expecting the public to show.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get good teams in decent spots at very low ownership on these big slates, that's why I love 150 lately for MLB because everyone just seems bunched together. Even if you go by run total, is 5.0 that much different than 5.8? No, but people treat it like it is, and the 5.8 team will have twice as much ownership when that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, the mini-max is what screwed me yesterday. Every other tournament that I was in on DraftKings, I was plus money, and then I took a bath on the mini-max.
Dude, the mini-max is sharp, and that's a lot to do with Manny's stream, I think. The mini-max is tough.
Dude, the quarter arcade is just like a sea of guys that show up in that stream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, He's got to stop giving away the goods. No, I'm
Anthony
kidding.
Hunt. No one's forgetting that Goldschmidt's a beast at cores. Everyone's a beast at cores. That's why it's cores. Nobody goes to cores and it's like, man, I'm going to have a tough day hitting in this incredibly thin air.
Foxhole atheist. But I still, damn, I did well last night, but I still hate baseball. Just can't get into this boring shit.
I'm with him.
Yeah, I mean,
Baseball's boring as shit.
it's not the best to watch, but if you got to sweat, it's pretty crazy.
I just treat it like it's an online game. Like I don't care about it.
I think that's the best way to mentally do it. That's good for your mental health if you don't watch much until everyone likes to sweat, or not everyone, but
I'm in bed, man.
Yeah, so I'll stay up if I think I got a decent shot at a big cash. But other than that, I don't watch a ton. I'll catch some from like 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 Eastern. But
now basketball, on the other hand, that shit affects my mood. I will wake up and find out that somebody I had played like garbage and went like 4 for 17 from the field. That shit will affect me for like 3 days.
yeah, that's like me with hockey. So
there you go.
We'll share tilt stories, I'm sure, throughout the season. Even though we probably won't be doing the stream together, you'll be doing your NBA one.
Yeah, I don't know how that'll shake out.
Let's see. You took down the $5 contest the other day. What lineup structure? Let me go find that. I'll get back to you, Shauna. We can move on to the next one if you're ready, Josh.
I am. Brewers and Marlins. Brewers 4.2 run implied total. Marlins 3.7. 57% chance to win for the Brewers. Julius Chassin going for Milwaukee. Pablo Lopez going for Miami. Boy Pablo projected for 14% ownership on DraftKings. That's healthy. I've got 9%. I guess that's fine for me. Ultimately, though, this game sucks. If Pablo Lopez is going to be 14% owned, I'd look into a stack or two of the Brewers. Otherwise, this game's pretty much a no-go for me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Pablo Lopez was going to be kind of a sneaky, just GPP guy that I get like 15% of and then well over the field, but it's not looking that way. So he looks okay to me, and the Brewers are on the road here. I think they got shut down last night for the most part. I think they only had a couple runs off Urena, and Lopez is similar to Urena in my opinion. So 5,700. He's had a couple games where he's missed bats, some hard contact, but the chase rate is very good. So I think he's okay against these righties, but 14% is a lot less appealing than what I thought was going to be like 2 or 3% ownership. So it'd just be a price thing. I still like some lefties, Yelich, Thames, Shaw against him, and even Brad Miller. But I'm not targeting the Chassin against Miami bats. I think that's kind of a wash for me.
Yeah, they're both just bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think Miami's they're not the worst offense in the league, but I mean, they're probably below average. And then Chassin is probably a below average pitcher. I mean, he has his moments, but it's just nothing special.
Marlins 26th in the league. Weighted runs created plus. They close. Can you name the other teams that are below the Marlins in offense?
What number were they?
There's 4 teams below the Marlins in weighted runs created plus. Can you name them?
White Sox?
Nope.
Really?
Really?
Padres?
Yes.
Padres and Tigers?
Nope. They're 25th, so they're just ahead of them.
Man, I don't know. Oh, Baltimore?
Yes. 2 more.
Texas?
No.
Man, I don't know.
Rockies and Royals.
Rockies. Wow. you'd think Coors they wouldn't, but
Anthony Hunt, it's
interesting.
because no one gives a shit about win-loss records.
Yeah.
Wrong year, dude. Farinola was 12-2 in 1982. You'd probably have a better case.
Okay, going back to Shauna, she asked what kind of lineup construction. So I had a 4-man. Oh, it was a 4-4 with Red Sox and Astros, and I had Zimmerman when he had that 8-inning 11K game. Lynn was my other pitcher, so I paid down for both pitchers and then had a 4-4.
There you go.
Do you think FanDuel and DK will ever merge?
No.
I honestly don't know. They
Not
tried
now.
it once. Yeah.
Now that sports betting's legal, no. My Phillies projections are weird right now. Cesar Hernandez is coming up as... Oh, Drew Gagnon doesn't have a hand. That makes sense.
Really? No, I'm kidding.
Well, I
know,
mean, that's happened. Wait, no, he does. Oh, okay. Not listed here. That makes sense.
Let's see this clown, Drew Gagnon. Do you have anything special on him?
He's not any good.
Whoa.
You ready to go to that game?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Phillies and Mets. When I started, there wasn't a line. I assume there's still not a line. I might as well at least hop to it. Well, all right. There's like a side, so we'll see if there's a total. I'll make a tweak to this quickly. All right. So Detroit is 160, 175. I'm about as close as I'm gonna get there. Philly. So Gagnon's the underdog in that game. Minus 140 for Dos Santos. And then Texas, Boston didn't have a line. This one is massive. 178. Giovanni Gallardo, minus 215 for Velasquez. Ooh. Oh, yeah, there were 3 games without lines when I started. Still no totals on those games, so keep an eye on that. So based on what I have in here, Phillies 4.5, Mets 4, 56% chance to win for the Phillies. Enyel De Los Santos going for Philadelphia. Drew Gagnon going for New York. Gagnon not in the player pool on either site. And De Los Santos is not really someone that I'm looking at. Maybe a line or two. This game is just one of those skips for me. I guess like the Phillies are cheap-ish on FanDuel. I'm not really that wild about this game.
Dude, Gagnon looks good to me. Like, straight up, looks pretty good. He, like, missing bats, especially. So I kind of wish he was in the player pool.
And never been in the majors before, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that he's not any good.
Well, he might be a different pitcher then, because
here we go.
He's having 20 swinging strike games and 19, and like I don't know what's going on with this guy, but so you can't play him. But I don't know, he's not the worst pitcher. I don't know, you can't see like hard contact numbers from what I'm looking at right now or anything. I don't have much to talk about in this game, honestly. I think the lefties against De Los Santos are fine. Nimmo, Asdrubal, and Conforto. And they're all pretty cheap. So I like that. But I don't know that I'm going overweight on the Phillies bats against Gagnon.
They're worth a line or two, but I won't have any volume here.
Sure.
It's a nothing game with nothing pitchers. So something's going to happen. And, you know, one of these teams are going to go crazy, I'm sure. Just to be annoying.
Probably.
Let's move on. Rangers and Red Sox. This one we could talk about. Rangers, 3.7 run implied total. Red Sox, 5.3. I'm going to kill that fly when I get a chance. 65% chance to win for Boston. Giovanni Gallardo going for Texas. Hector Velasquez going for the Red Sox. This isn't a game for pitching for me. I'll be passing on both of these guys. Red Sox, I think, look like a pretty nice stack. And apparently the public feels the same way. Betts, Benintendi, Martinez, just super expensive outfield bats. They're a little difficult to get to, in my opinion, but, you know, if you find the Danny Duffys of the world, I guess it's not that hard. I like the Red Sox, especially against Gallardo. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard not to like the Red Sox once again. Looks like their ownership will be a little bit easier to swallow, I should say. So we're projecting like 12% for the big guys, 14. That's fine with me. Still too high on a 14 gamer or 15 gamer, but less than 30% or whatever we saw yesterday. 40 for Steve Pearce. So I just don't have much respect for Gallardo. I mean, he's not going to walk that many guys, but 475 xFIP, 6% swinging strike rate is not going to do it for me. I have him projected to be like the worst pitcher on the slate. So I love the Red Sox bats at home here. Yeah. Just nothing not to like. And I actually like Brock Holt. So I'll say that. I think I usually skip him, but for some reason, he would come up super high and I would manually put him down. But he looks pretty decent to me. So I'll go 1 through 6, maybe 1 through 7, but I think Devers is a little bit expensive when you're trying to stack in all these other guys. So Holt will be my salary relief on this stack.
Yeah, Holt really helps in having dual eligibility. At 3,400 makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
Brian, if you're having trouble reading that, change the quality settings in YouTube. That one's on you, man.
Click the gear. Yeah, the gear. There you go. I couldn't figure out the word there.
I've been there. Yeah, this Red Sox for me. I guess a little bit of the Rangers isn't the worst idea because they have cheap lefty bats. Yeah, that'd be fine, especially on FanDuel, like Chu, Mazzara, Odor, Gallo. I'm okay going there because of their price point, but, you know, have realistic expectations.
Yeah, I've got Velasquez not being a guy that's going to miss a lot of bats. He's been going out of the bullpen, it looks like, this year, and I don't know how long he'll be in. It looks like he pitched on July 7th, and he's gone 1 inning in each of his last 4 outings. So wouldn't expect him to go deep. Boston does have a pretty good bullpen, if I remember correctly. But I think that, like you said, the lefties for the Rangers are in play. Mazzara, Chu, Odor, and Gallo, if you're home run hunting.
If you're home run hunting, just ask me what I'm doing.
True. Yeah. You start getting like 5 or 6 picks out.
Red Sox bullpen, 5th in the league in xFIP this season. So there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's probably it. I really do like Nomar Mazzara as a one-off tonight. 3,800 as a DK outfielder. Nothing to worry about for Velasquez. I'd be willing to take that chance. He's probably slightly high in my model. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, he is. He is 12th.
You have Velasquez up there?
Wait, what? I was talking about Mazzara in the home run model.
Oh, okay. I misheard that.
Moving on. We're going to cruise through this. Otherwise, I'm going to want to jump off my house after 30 teams. Reds and Indians. Reds, 3.4 run implied total. Indians, 5.1. The 68% chance to win for the Indians. Sal Romano, not going to be chalky today. 1% expected ownership on DraftKings, so we can finally stop rostering Sal Romano. Trevor Bauer, going for the Indians. 2% expected ownership. That'll climb, much like Barrios did yesterday, which made me feel dumb. I'll have a little bit of Bauer, but I like Verlander quite a bit more than Bauer. I know Jake is going to be all over Trevor Bauer, so you give him the speech while I also use the restroom for the second day in a row.
Sweet. Nice routine we're getting into here. So Bauer, yeah, I love him, and I figured he was going to be lower owned than Verlander, so makes me like him even more. Once you're getting up to 13.3, 13.6, it's mostly the same for me. I mean, $300 does matter, but I just think Bauer is the third best pitcher in the MLB right now, behind Sale and Scherzer. Just going on this crazy tear, striking out 7 to 10 to 13 guys every start. And yeah, he's going to get a lot of lefties here, but he's actually striking out lefties at a higher rate. And an xFIP under 3 against lefties this year, striking out 33% of them. I mean, I know these Reds don't strike out that much, but it hasn't really mattered to Bauer who he's gone up against. He's just getting strikeouts at an insane rate. So I love him. I love that he goes 110 pitches, 108, 108. Like, that's just, I love seeing my 13.6K pitcher go super deep and be able to get those extra innings and those extra strikeouts. So that stuff all matters to me. Not that Verlander won't go deep, because he will, but I just think Bauer is on another level.
Are you done touching Bauer intimately?
Yes, I'm done.
2% is crazy. That's not going to happen, right? It'll be
No, I think
8,
it'll be more like
9.
Yeah, 8 to 10.
Yeah.
I would say, but at lower stakes, I mean, I think like the mini max, maybe not the mini max, but like the table setter, I think Bauer would be like around 5 to 7, and I'm all over that. I just don't think he deserves to be one of the highest owned pitchers, no matter what slate it is these days, just because how good he's been.
Yeah, I mean, I've got him at 8% right now, which I think is sort of where he'll end up. So that would sort of be my ceiling for it. I have 5 times that of Verlander, basically.
Oof. So I wouldn't. Yeah, that's why I like Bauer too, is because I'd rather be like even to the field on Verlander and go 5 times on Bauer.
I've got Verlander projected 6.8 points ahead of Bauer on DraftKings. That is healthy.
Yeah, that is healthy. Let's see what I have. My projections are a little bit different. They're all based on relativity, but yeah, I have Bauer 26.9, Verlander 27.5. So I have, but that's projected on their averages. If we go at the last couple of months, Bauer would be way higher. But
see what FanGraphs has for them. SaberSim on FanDuel, or SaberSim on DK has Bauer 19.07, Verlander 28. So
wow.
SaberSim is higher on Verlander than I am, which is crazy, and a little bit higher on Bauer. Crazy.
Did you see the Red Sox total jumped?
No.
6.3 now.
6.3?
That's what I'm looking at.
Now, that's bad math, I think. Unless the side changed. I've got the right total in right now. Nope, I don't. Yeah, that jumped.
6.3.
Oh, by jumped, it came out. That's what happened.
What? I thought there was a total out.
Now, Boston didn't have a total. Philly and Detroit were all blank.
Yeah.
Let's do 10 and 0.2. All those totals are out now, so I might as well enter them in.
What's our home run calls? We'll do home run calls on the live stream.
Yes.
It's a little too early for that. Haven't gotten a great feel for the slate just yet. But
and then what was the third one? Philly. 8.5. Close enough. Yeah, that Boston line is going to make things change a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wow. Arizona Colorado game total is 11. Texas Boston 10.5. There's just a lot of runs out there. The Yankees have a monster implied total because of their likelihood of victory. Yeah, I've got the Red Sox at 5.9 right now.
Yeah.
Although 188 minus 205, did that move again?
It's a 10.5 total, I'm seeing.
Yeah. Okay. Indians bats. Not really super chalky. I guess that's the Sal Romano respect, but 5.1 run implied total. I like the Indians. I'll definitely have some of them. Those first 5 guys, Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, Encarnacion, and my guy, Yonder Alonso, I think all look great. Same with Tyler Naquin.
Yeah, how can you not like the Indians? I mean, this is the other stack that I think can compete with the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's a good team, as we know, or I mean, a pretty good team. Maybe not the same as they were the last couple of years, but still a lot of solid hitters here. Specifically, those top 5, and then I don't know. I mean, Kipnis, Naquin, Roberto Perez—they're all cheap. But I'm really focusing on those top 3 against Romano. No respect for Romano against lefties. Against righties, he can be okay, but I'm going to be jamming in some Cleveland bats.
Yeah, we're not really projecting any ownership. They're at 4% aggregate, which is essentially average for the day. I'm not sure I agree there. I would like to have a little bit more Indians.
Yeah, I love him. I just don't like Sal Romano. His chalk days are over.
Yeah, the old 1% Sal Romano today makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Tigers and Rays. Tigers, 3.5 run implied total. Rays, 4.3. The 58% chance to win for the Rays. Ryan Stanek is the starter. I'm not sure they're going to go to anyone for like bulk innings today. But
Yarbrough.
Is it Yarbrough?
That's what they're saying.
Who's they?
I just read an article while we were on the last game about the Rays starting Stanek, and then Yarbrough's the only one who hasn't pitched in a few days. So they said he's expected to come in long relief.
Yeah, but like even he's not pitching a lot. Like on July 6th, he pitched 2 innings. On July 3rd, he pitched 3 innings. How long could Yarbrough even go? We're projecting 11% ownership to Stanek for some reason that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't think Stanek's going deep. He's only gone a couple innings like this whole year.
I don't think Yarbrough is going. I mean, I don't. Look, let's just say this. If you don't like the Tigers, it doesn't matter because you're not playing Yarbrough or anyone else on the Rays. Yarbrough's not going to suddenly throw 6 innings after throwing 2 relief outings in July so far.
Yeah, so he threw 95 3 games ago. I think he actually, he didn't start that game. And then 46 and 35. So, God, he hasn't thrown 95 plus in 2 weeks, which is scary to try to. Plus, it's not even that good of a matchup, honestly.
It's not worth it.
Strikeouts.
It's just not worth looking into. And I think the Tigers bats look terrible no matter who's coming in, so I'm not going to have the Rays starter, and going to like a righty or a lefty isn't changing anything for me for the Tigers. So I just like the Rays on DraftKings like a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And no one, like we're not projecting ownership at all.
Really? People aren't going to go back to the Rays well against the lefty?
2% aggregate ownership. That'll be like 24th or 25th or something. I've got 8. I have 4 times the field right now.
They're still not that expensive, and I like Echeverria actually comes up a ton for me at 2,900. Cron, Wilson Ramos, Daniel Robertson. So those 4. You can throw in Matt Duffy even. He's been decent.
I like Kiermaier a lot at 3,600 if he's leading off.
Lefty?
Leading off?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. I guess you don't pay that much attention to the handedness.
I mean, it's factored into my stuff, but I don't pay too much attention to the handedness when it's Matt Boyd.
True.
Or Kershaw, I think Kiermaier doesn't look as great.
Um, so the Tigers have actually been awesome against lefties. So this isn't the spot for Yarbrough, anyways. I don't think. Second lowest K percentage against lefties this year. Fourth highest WRC plus. Decent ISO, decent on base percentage. So the Tigers are actually pretty tough against lefties, anyways. I like Castellanos. I like Candelario and Jacoby Jones. So I don't know that I'm stacking up the Tigers, but I'll definitely have some of these guys in as one-offs. Did you catch it?
No, I missed it a couple times, but I know I definitely looked super spastic on the screen. I'm going to get him. I'm going to end his life.
Yeah, so I like actually some bats on both sides, which is weird to say, but because there's so many games that I'm targeting Tigers Rays. Like, what am I doing? All-Star break needs to get here, man.
Just Rays for me, man. Just Rays. I didn't get a single Tiger at all. I mean, I got like a couple lines of Boyd because it's just random, but Tigers 1% aggregate ownership. We're not projecting anybody there. This just isn't a game that I care about other than Rays bats on DraftKings. I don't really get them on FanDuel.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good to move on then. Not much.
I think the reason that I get so much of them on DraftKings has a lot to do with Daniel Robertson's dual eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, here we go. We're going to have a back and forth. You ready?
I am ready.
Blue Jays and Braves. Blue Jays, 4.3 run implied total. Braves, 4.7. It's a 53% chance to win for the Braves. Marcus Stroman going for Toronto. Julio Teheran going for Atlanta. Teheran projected 21% ownership. I don't necessarily believe in that. I will be somewhere near half of that. And I believe that the Blue Jays are one of the best stacks of the day. I am very heavy on them on FanDuel. They are my number 2 stack. I am significantly heavier than the field on DraftKings. They're my number 5 stack, but we're kind of just quibbling over placement there. I have 2.5 times the aggregate ownership than what we're expecting. I want all the Blue Jays. So the floor is yours, Jake. Go ahead on Teheran.
Teheran has huge splits. We kind of know this about him. Much better against righties and lefties, striking out, hard contact, all that stuff. And the Blue Jays have a lot of righties and a lot of righties that strike out against right-handed pitching at 24+% rates. So 27% K rate for Teheran against righties this year, 369 xFIP. Like, he's a legitimately good pitcher against righties. The 3 out of 4 to start lefties scares me, but 7,400, I think I can fit him in with a Bauer or a Verlander if that's your guy, and that's appealing. So he's at home, 4-run total for the Blue Jays. It's not a perfect spot, but it's one that I think I'll need to have exposure to. And so I wrote him up in the Spotlight Pitchers if you guys want to read that. But 6 righties in the lineup kind of does it for me against Teheran.
Okay. So is Teheran today's Danny Duffy?
I don't think so, because I think he's better than Danny Duffy.
Sure. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Is he the mid-tier guy that everyone's paying up for? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he is, but...
I think so.
I don't get it.
He's got a lot of things going for him that I don't think you can say about most other pitchers. Like, Tyler Anderson wasn't at Coors. I think he would be the guy. People are going to pay for Garrett Richards. People are going to pay for Rich Hill. I mean, I don't think he's going to be super chalky, but he will be one of the higher owned guys in the $700 to $8,500 range.
Third most ownership right now.
Yeah.
I can't live in a world where he has the third most ownership.
I mean, Hill and Richards are right around him. Those guys are 1,000 more. I think Teheran's a better play than them.
I greatly prefer Rich Hill.
Okay. I figured you would. That's fine.
And then who was the other one? Richards?
Yeah.
That's a coin flip for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be anywhere near 21% Tehran. I don't see it. I'm going to happily hedge with the Jays. Granderson being projected for 1% ownership on DraftKings, in my opinion, is criminal.
Yeah, he won't. He'll be higher than that. He'll be the guy that people go to for leverage. Him smoking Solarte.
Which I think 2%, criminal. Criminal. I love the Jays. Sorry, Braves. Sorry, Braves. Should I take my Braves hat off while I do this rant?
Yeah, you hate the Braves.
I don't have any Blue Jays stuff to put on.
You're going to revoke your fandom.
That's fine. Honestly, I kind of revoked it like 7 years ago. There's no fandom in baseball. Fandom would imply that I actually care. I only care about who's on my team. That's my team. Can I get like a DFS logo on the top of my hat? Because my team is whoever I rostered that day in excess of the field.
You can get an Osmo.com hat.
We can't, but maybe someday.
Do you like Braves bats?
No, not at all. And apparently the public doesn't either. Which is
like
kind of weird because of how bad Stroman is sometimes. Or like, 6,900 on DraftKings.
Yeah.
It's weird that Stroman is unowned and the Braves bats are unowned.
Yeah, at that ownership, I will be well over the field on Atlanta. Just an offense that I think is good. Stroman struggled against lefties, especially, not striking them out very much. 174 whip, 43% hard contact, and a ton of pulled balls. And this is an already lefty-friendly park with 85-degree weather. It just seems like a lot of things add up. I don't know. They're just going to get lost in the shuffle, I think, for whatever reason, probably because of their pricing. And Flowers can hit righties well, too, so the top 5 makes for a pretty easy full stack for me. Let's see how Stroman is at holding runners for Inciarte's sake.
Yeah, I'd be fine with Freeman. I think he grades out pretty well. Inciarte as well. I don't see a stack for Atlanta. I'd be a little bit more interested if anyone cared about Stroman, but since apparently no one does, then I don't either.
Yeah, and I mean, Stroman's a fine matchup. Not perfect, but probably a neutral matchup, and that's perfectly fine for Inciarte.
I think Stroman's a much better team, like a regular pitcher than he is a DFS pitcher. So I think that's what's sort of creating the gap.
I think I said that last night on the night shift, so we must be in sync.
Yeah. I definitely didn't listen to that. So. I was asleep until 6:30 this morning and then just did this stuff and drank coffee. I need to get like a catheter. The morning show pee break is just going to be super consistent. So I take in like 60 ounces of fluids at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Shrek with the it's for sure now Shrek moving forward. Be clear here. Get a Velcro hat that I could swap the logo out for. I think that's a great idea. I'll just be sitting here and be like, I love the Jays today. Smack. Pop that stuff right in the middle of my forehead. It's a good idea. Yeah, so load up on the Jays, in my humble opinion. I think that will pay off for you, long term. Maybe not tonight. Ooh, here comes some pitching that I thought would be better against pitching that I think is the best. A's 3-run implied total. Astros 4.5. 68% chance to win for the Astros. Shamania going for Oakland. Justin Verlander going for Houston. Verlander, the nuts today. Chalk pitcher, 36% expected ownership. I have him at 35. FanDuel, he's expected 31. I got 31, so apparently I sniffed out the public on Verlander this morning. He's Justin Verlander. I have him projected for 9.3 Ks. Next closest guy is Bauer and Tanaka tied at 6.6. So miles and miles for me. I can't get anywhere other than Verlander. He'll be my heavily owned pitcher. we'll see how I feel about that closer to lock. If these ownerships hold, I'll actually probably go a bit under that number for Verlander and bump up Bauer a bit to try to hedge that a little. But love Verlander, and that's it for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I love Verlander. I think he's a perfectly fine play. I just don't think that Bauer's that far behind him, and that ownership makes it seem like he should be. So, no problem if you want to go with Verlander as your ace. I think that's a great option coming off a nice start. And he's a guy that they'll let go 110, 115 pitches at times, which you love for 13-3. And then Oakland isn't a perfect matchup. They're actually pretty good against righties. They're not that great of a strikeout matchup. And they have some lefty power. But I don't know. I'm not scared of that matchup for Verlander. I think he's awesome. So you don't like the Astros bats at all?
Not really. Apparently the public doesn't either. Only 2% aggregate ownership. That is below average.
I like
bats. Springer because I always like Springer. I'm fine with Gaddis, especially on FanDuel. Only 3,300. But 4.5 run implied total, nothing crazy today. There are a few offenses that look a bit better. If that line grows a little bit, I could see liking the Astros, but I'm fine not being super close to them. I mean, I could see them lighting Mania up.
I see that. I think that's more likely to happen than however many percent we have them owned for, because Mania just is not good against righties. He hasn't been all year, can't strike them out at the same type of rate, and gives up a lot of quality contact. So I don't know what's not to like against these Astros. The xFIP's low, the ground ball rate is high, sorry. So the fly ball rate's low, but it's not like Mania is some elite pitcher against righties. So, I mean, I love a low-owned Astros team against a lefty that I don't think is great against righties.
I can't really argue with that. The first 5 for the Astros lineup looks great.
Yeah. That's exactly where I'm looking. Top 5, and then maybe Stassi if you can't afford Gaddis.
I'd rather just pay the extra $600.
Well, that's why I said if you can't afford.
Yeah, I would cut somebody else. I think the gap between Gaddis and Stassi is bigger than what $600 is.
That's fair.
Shark to Shrek. Yep. He's transitioned. He was originally a shark, but he grew up feeling like he was Shrek in his heart. So now he's Shrek.
Yep.
Now that happens nowadays. Cardinals and White Sox. Cardinals 5.1 run implied total. White Sox 4. 61% chance to win. Miles is throwing for St. Louis. I'm tired of whiffing on his name, even though I look it up every week. Dylan Covey going for Chicago. In the shock of all shocks, I'll probably have a little bit of Miles. Not a big fan of Dylan Covey, but I'll eat up them Cardinals bats. Num, 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 num. Favorite stack on FanDuel. They're 6th for me on DraftKings, but don't make that seem like I don't like them. They are still in heavy rotation. I'll be with the field. Cardinals, super chalky tonight. Chalk stack on FanDuel. Second or third chalkiest stack on DraftKings. You looking at pitching here? This doesn't feel like a game for you.
No. And I was actually almost going to say I could almost get to Covey, but I mean, I don't. Just because of how many righties. There's 7 righties in the projected lineup. So anytime you see a right-handed pitcher for 5,200, and one that he's had good starts. He's got a very good ground ball rate and all that. I may end up with some Covey. Is it Covey or Covey or whatever?
Who are you asking?
Yeah, that's true. I don't like Michaelis. I think that I love targeting big strikeout pitchers against the White Sox.
Covey,
but
by the way.
Is it Covey?
Yeah.
Okay. So he hasn't shown that type of upside. I think he had one really nice start against Kansas City, but Michaelis is not going to be a big strikeout pitcher. And I like Palka. I like Yohan Moncada actually as leverage plays if Michaelis is going to get any sort of ownership, but I just like them overall. I'm not really on the Cardinals. I don't know.
Really?
I don't. I mean, it's a righty pitcher. This guy, he's not terrible, even if you go by the season numbers. I know he had 2 starts that kind of stick out against tough opponents. But if you look at the full season, too, yeah, he doesn't strike a lot of guys out, but it looks like he can be pretty good.
4.56 xFIP, following up on last year's 5.54.
Yeah, he's coming off 2 disaster outings. So what I'm saying doesn't look great right now, but the 60% ground ball rate is concerning. I mean, I love Carpenter, but outside of him, a lot of righties in there. Maybe this guy can get into a little bit of a groove.
I don't think this is the day that he gets into the groove.
So look at who he struggled against. Texas and Cincinnati, his last 2 on the road. Those are lefty-heavy teams. So
Career 543 xFIP against righties. He's given up a 384 WOBA. This dude just gets blown up.
I don't think he's going to get blown up tonight.
You would be in the minority then, much like me and liking the Blue Jays.
Maybe I'll play some Covey.
Cool. You want to play head-to-head?
Yeah.
You get
I won't
Covey
play
and
him in
Tehran, all of the Blue Jays and the Cardinals.
No, if I was going cash, I think I'd go with Tehran and Bauer.
Oh, God. That would terrify the living shit out of me. Although, Tehran, being chalky, I mean, to me, it would be Rich Hill Verlander as the cash combo that I think would be the way to go. Yes, man, Cardinals look so good to me. I mean, Carpenter, obviously. I don't think we're going to be in any disagreement there. Dual eligibility, relatively cheap, leading off, lefty, righty. It's hard to find a better combo of stuff than Matt Carpenter. But yeah, Pham a lot of my ownership is in those first 5 guys. So Carpenter, Pham, Martinez, Ozuna, Molina. Little bit of Jed Jerko is fine. Again, dual eligibility is always going to make ownership go up a little bit higher because it just makes it easier to fit dudes in. I'm loving the Cardinals.
I will say I'm on the other side. I don't feel great about it, but if they're going to be one of the chalkier stacks, I think there are quite a few teams I would have in front of them. So Covey is the ultimate leverage, I guess, not on FanDuel, actually. I would not play Covey on FanDuel. You need a big score out of your pitcher.
Yeah, no.
If you're playing him on DK, you're looking for like 15 points. You're looking for 5-6 innings, a couple strikeouts, and a chance at a win. And that's not going to do it on FanDuel.
No, I have him with a 0% chance of being a top scoring pitcher on FanDuel. So that's over 4,000 simulations. Things don't break well for him all that well. No, I don't hate the idea of going to him as a leverage play if you're not fond of the Cardinals. That's the way to do it, I guess. White Sox bats, just Abreu for me, I think. A little bit of Moncada wouldn't hurt.
No Palka? Guy's the GOAT.
Sure.
Yeah.
FanDuel, sure. 2,700? Yeah. I can get there. That 4-run implied total is really putting a damper on the White Sox.
That's fair.
Royals and Twins. Royals 3.9 run implied total. Twins 5.1. Man, the Twins offense is just getting a lot of credit lately, but I feel like they are not putting up the runs to back up their implied totals.
Yeah, not really. I mean, they've been fine, but nothing special.
62% chance to win for those Twins. Ian Kennedy going for Kansas City. Aaron Sledger's going for Minnesota. I'm not on the pitching here. I'm on both sides for hitting. And I don't really understand why I'm on the Royals or anyone is on the Royals. But they are. I mean, I guess I understand the fact that it's Price. Most expensive guy on FanDuel on the Royals. Hyde, Whit Merrifield, and Mike Moustakas, $3,000. Everything's cheap. So Royals make everything work, but they also have a 3.9 run implied total. I'm not fond of this one. Let's just say that. But I've got a ton of Royals, so I don't know what to think.
I mean, I love the Twins. I don't think Sleegers is any like sort of great pitcher. He's 7,300. I think I'd rather have Tehran. I probably don't even want to play Sleegers. I'm scared of Moustakis. I'm scared of Duda, and even Merrifield and Perez. So that's probably enough to keep me off of Sleegers. And then I love the Twins against Kennedy. 28% line drive percentage against lefties for Kennedy this year. 41% hard contact, pulled balls all over the place. Like, this guy is just not any good. So, Rosario, Escobar, your boy Logan Morrison, Polanco, Kepler, even Cave. I talked about him. He comes up pretty well for me. So I love the Twins. I much prefer them over the Cardinals, and we have them right next to each other in terms of aggregate ownership.
I love that Logan Morrison's my boy. I'm going to have so many boys at this rate because I just can't stop picking home runs.
My boy is Chad Pinder. So.
Because that was in April 17th or something like that.
It feels like it.
I think it was. I'm not even trying to be
That's
funny.
right.
No, it was probably a little later than that. So I love the Twins as well. They are quite chalky. Let's see. I think they might be second. Yeah, they are. Second most aggregate ownership on DraftKings. They're one of the chalkier stacks on FanDuel. It's all bats here. I'll have basically everybody. Very little bits of like lower order guys, but top 6 on both sides, I'm going to have a lot of. Salvador Perez for 3,500 is so cheap.
Yeah, Rosario is going to be your early dawn call here. I think he puts one out.
Let's see where he ranks right now. Wrong Rosario. I was like, Ahmed Rosario is like 6 from the bottom. Eddie Rosario, 23rd in my home run model, which is pretty darn good on a 30-team slate.
Yeah. Nice and humid here in Minneapolis. Actually, it's not that humid. I just figured it was because it was yesterday, but 42% humidity.
That's
whatever.
That's some lovely weather, actually.
That is actually nice, but it's 87.
That's a perfect day, Jake. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, whatever. A little warm for me. I sweat a lot.
Fair enough. Drew Ed, shut up about the World Cup. You're going to make an exit from this chat for the next 5 minutes.
I don't have any World Cup predictions, although I did predict Belgium to win it earlier.
There you go.
So, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about it.
I don't know. I don't expect to have as much Royals as I do right now. But I guess I'm going to. It's like the most unappealing thing that I could be doing is taking the Royals.
I think this is a pretty awesome game stack now that you're saying that. Now that we're talking about the weather, 2 pitchers that we don't love either side. Could be a lot of balls in play, and then 2 bullpens that suck. So it seems like a recipe for a fantastic game stack now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, see, my problem is just that I just got done talking about how the Royals have the lowest weighted runs created plus in baseball, and now I'm like, you know what I need more of? Royals offense.
That's all right. Only takes one. They're going to have games where they score 10 runs.
Yeah, but they have a 3.9 run implied total. All signs point against this. I guess their price is just so incredibly low that it, like, FanDuel and DraftKings are just shrugging their shoulders like, look, they suck. We can't go any lower.
I'm seeing 4.2 for them and 5.4 for the Twins.
The line move?
I think the total went up.
Whoa. Twins.
So you're going to like that even more, I think.
158, 172. Oh, the line pinch, too. So Kennedy is Minnesota's not as big of a favorite as they were when I entered this 2 hours ago.
It's probably because our boy Sleegers is
They heard me
pitching.
talking about the Royals. People are going nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, up to 9.5. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll like the Royals significantly more now than I did before, which not really the direction I was trying to go.
I think it's perfectly fine.
I liked them too much before I just made it better.
There you go. You got to trust the numbers. Trust the numbers.
Trust the process.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I like the Royals. I don't know what else to say to that. Let's move on.
The Twins somehow have the sixth lowest xFIP this year. That can't be right. Wow. So maybe not as bad as I originally thought, but still.
Alrighty. Nope. I was about to be like Royals and Twins, but I just never changed it. Diamondbacks and Rockies. We're heading to Coors, people. Diamondbacks 5.3 run implied total. Rockies 5.6. It's a 52% chance to win for the Rockies. Pat Corbin going for Arizona. Tyler Anderson going for Colorado. Neither pitcher projected to get any real ownership. I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't want 10-4 Pat Corbin in Coors. I don't even really want $8,200 Tyler Anderson in Coors either. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass on that. Obviously, both of these teams are going to be, owned quite a bit as a Coors game. I'm right there with it. The prices are fine. The implied total looks good. This game's just offense for me. I'm not trying to take Tyler Anderson in Coors.
Yeah, if it were a different lineup, I think I would consider Anderson. And he might end up on a couple lineups, but I'm not forcing in Tyler Anderson. These righties do scare me with Pollock back. You got Souza now, Ketel Marte, Murphy. I think these guys can all hit Anderson. And it's 100 degrees and wind blowing out in Coors. So already the best hitter's park. Now you get great weather and wind blowing out and two lefties on the mound and a lot of righties on both sides. So I don't know. I think these are both awesome stacks. I thought Colorado was going to be lower owned because of Corbin on the other side.
Chalk stack on DK.
Yeah. So, Arizona's fine for me too. I don't have a problem with any of them. So any of the guys I mentioned, I don't know. I love this game. How can you not?
Yeah, it lines up perfectly. There's just so many righty bats against lefties.
Yeah.
It grades out really well. I don't really have anything to add. I like it. The public likes it. It's a Coors game. It's obvious. I don't.
Pick your favorite bat. I think that's one thing we could do.
Okay.
If you could only have one guy.
Both sides or just overall?
For just overall, one bat.
Okay.
Who'd you pick?
Goldschmidt.
Yeah. So for me, it's Pollock, and Pollock's just nasty against lefties. Doesn't strike out that much. So I have no issue with Goldschmidt. I thought you were going to say Arenado, but
yeah,
we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah, he's a perfectly quality silver medalist. I didn't realize Goldschmidt was 5,900 on DK today.
Kind of nuts.
I'm just happy he's expensive again. People can get off my dong about it. I have 1% Charlie Blackmon. So I guess my answer is not Charlie Blackmon.
He's projected to be the lowest owned guy, right? Lefty.
Yeah. And 5,700.
John Jay.
Yeah, John Jay somehow only at 4,000, but still no one wants him.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised to know that the thin air doesn't exactly help John Jay out with his projected .092 ISO.
He'll probably triple dong.
Yeah. We haven't had one of those in a while, have we?
Mm-mm. Oh, Will Myers did actually last week.
Yeah.
Last weekend. So.
The only reason I know that it was Saturday, wasn't it? Because I don't think I played.
I didn't play the night slate.
Fair enough. Aaron D, I like Corbin here. What drugs are you doing so early in the morning? That's some heavy shit for 10:19 Eastern.
Man, I can't get behind the Corbin play.
You gotta lay off the crack pipe, brother. With that said, I mean, he could pitch well. It's not like Coors is some disease that you can't shake, but it's not going to take much to like Corbin. You can put him in like 4 lineups in the mini-max and be over the field.
Sure.
But seriously, lay off those early drugs. Mariners and Angels. Mariners 3.8 run implied total. Angels 4.6. 58% chance to win for the Angels. Mike Leake going for Seattle. Garrett Richards going for the Angels. Garrett Richards, pretty chalky. 19% projected ownership on DraftKings. I'm at like half of that right now. There's a bunch of guys in that price point where, I'll probably just spread my ownership out. I don't see anybody grading out significantly better than the others. I guess maybe Rich Hill, but is this game just like a nothing game to you? I don't really have the hitting. I don't really care for anything outside of Garrett Richards. Like, very unappealing.
Yeah, Richards is fine for me. Just has a lot of strikeout upside, so I'm not that worried about Seattle. I mean, I don't think Richards is a great value or anything. He's had a couple good starts in a row against Seattle. So he's got some things going for him. I'm not targeting a lot of Seattle bats. I'm not targeting a lot of Angels bats besides Trout and Simmons. And that is about it. This game is not that great for me.
In 5 minutes, Drew, and yeah, we're projecting basically no ownership to the Mariners. I didn't get them at all. Relatively average exposure to the Angels. I'm barely getting them. Obviously Trout's good. I think Cole Calhoun looks incredible in the leadoff spot, but I don't know. Cole Calhoun, 16% expected ownership on DK, but that's what 2,900 in the leadoff spot will do for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, this is a game I want to be quiet. I'll actually try to get a line or two of the Mariners just to hedge against that high Richards ownership.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
I don't like it though.
Either way.
Yeah. Alrighty, here we go. My kryptonite. The Dodgers and Padres. Dodgers, decent night again last night. I'm just happy Max Muncy didn't do anything after that rant I went on. 4.5 run implied total for the Dodgers. 3.7 for the Padres. 59% chance to win for said Dodgers. Rich Hill going for LA. Eric Lauer going for San Diego. Rich Hill, 28% expected ownership. This is one I get a little bit more. Just always a fan of getting pitchers in Petco, especially guys that I like. Rich Hill, no different. I got 17% ownership. I'm happy there. I don't need to go too crazy, but he's somebody I'd look into having a little bit more of. And then Eric Lauer, 14% expected ownership. Cheap price in Petco. Another guy where I'll have extended ownership to. I like this game for pitching quite a bit. But Dodgers, I'm like 2 times the field. So I'm not sure what happened, if they had like a price movement, or maybe it's the fact that they have 6 guys with dual eligibility on DraftKings, which, you don't see that all that often. I'm getting the Dodgers a lot tonight, so yay. I didn't make any model changes. This is just where we're at. Go Dodgers. I've always been a Dodgers fan.
Yeah, I like the Dodgers against Lauer. I mean, just a lot of hard hits to righties, huge part, but I don't think many people are going to be on them. And Lauer's not a good pitcher. I like Kike, Chris Taylor, Justin Turner, and they're cheap. Kemp as well, 4,500. I don't think a lot of people will play him, but he's been very good against lefties this year. Hill on the other side is just whatever for me. I don't want to play him that much, but if he ends up in some lineups and I'm going double mid tier, I think that's all right with me. He's just never someone I want to be on when he's chalk for an abundance of reasons. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to target against him, but I think Renfroe and Villanueva are both fine.
Yeah, I mean, I could see going to a Padres stack, especially on FanDuel. They're a little bit cheaper. So Margot, Myers, Renfroe, they're They're an efficient outfield trio. Mix and match however you need. My exposure to the Dodgers is really weird. So no Max Muncy. That shouldn't surprise anyone. I'm about as anti-Max Muncy at 5,000 as you can get. But I got a lot of like Logan Forsythe and Austin Barnes. 2,700 second, third eligibility for Forsythe. Like that's just, it really, really helps to fit stuff in. And then Barnes having second base catcher eligibility and being 2,800. These are guys that I'm going to get to a lot. I love the Dodgers today for the first time in forever.
Yeah, I like them a lot. And my ownership's not working for them. I don't know how owned we have them being, but
very. Oh, not at all. Below average.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm hoping that with this bulk amount of Dodgers, I'll be able to pick up a Dodgers home run today.
I'm sure you will. Eric Lauer will serve one up.
As long as it doesn't go to Max Muncy, I'll be happy. Because I still need Oakland, the Dodgers, and the Cardinals. So I have plenty of the Dodgers and Cardinals today. Might be able to get to 29 home runs with a couple days left to go. And at that point, if it's just Oakland, I'm going to jam the living shit out of them into the mini-max for the next 5 days so I can hit 30. Just full-on 100% stack Oakland. That's probably it for this game, right?
Yeah.
On to the final. Cubs and Giants. Cubs, 3.9 run implied total. It's really weird to have the Cubs in like the late night slot. Cubs 3.9, Giants 3.8, 51% chance to win for the Cubs. Jose Quintana going for Chicago. That's the first time that I realized that he was playing today. Derek Holland going for San Francisco. I've got 9% Quintana. That's what we have the field at. I have 6% of him on FanDuel. He's at 7%. So I'm right with the field on Quintana, and the bats should go relatively unowned. Are you trying to get to Cubs or Giants here?
Not really. I mean, I could make a case for some righties against Holland, but that is about it. And then I like McCutchen, Posey, and then Slater if you need like a punt type player. But it's not a game that I'm looking to main stack, as games in AT&T usually aren't.
Joe the show. I'm not gonna have any Oakland today. Today's not the day for Oakland, but if I do ever have guys from Oakland, it'll be a lot more than just Piscotty. It'll be him plus 4 other dudes.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that. I'm going to get those 30. And there's no way I'm letting you get to 30, and I'm not getting to 30. I refuse to have any bragging rights, even after things that have no tie to us whatsoever.
I mean, I would rather win money, honestly. But that's just me.
As long as I have more home runs than Chris does, that's really all that matters to me. Money isn't as good as berating your fellow colleagues about their lack of talent at picking home runs.
That's true. Just money for me. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, I suppose.
Yeah. As you age, you'll realize that you get a lot more satisfaction of hating others. It's just a natural progression in life.
Nice.
You gotta learn.
Can't wait to
you gotta learn to take some wins at other people's losses.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very natural in this climate nowadays. Give me 2 pitchers. Let's check out some crunches.
Let's go with take Verlander and Tehran. Couple chalk.
Well, I got one of those, obviously.
Oh, what about someone in his range? Just like
what's Tehran at? 74.
74.
I'm not gonna have anybody else a lot at his range. It would be Rich Hill, but that's 1,200 more. So let's just see what that lineup looks like first.
Boyd. Go to Boyd. There's a few in there.
Yeah.
He's close enough.
I think I could add that Tehran lineup too. Nope, I can't. I'm so bad at this. I never know which buttons to click. Okay. So Verlander, Boyd, 5-man Blue Jays stack. Obviously very appealing to me with a 3-man Diamondback stack. I don't get the sense that you're going to be all over the Nick Ahmed, Steven Souza, Chris Owings part of the D-backs.
I mean, I like Ahmed and Souza. Owings isn't my guy.
I thought you hated Nick Ahmed.
No, you do.
I can't get my own stuff wrong, can I?
Yeah, you hate Ahmed. We've had this conversation a couple times.
Oh my god, trapped in my own brain. How's he grading out? Did they move him up in the lineup?
Well, he's been batting second against lefties for a while now.
God, you were so much smarter at this shit. I just have no memory. I'm seriously like a goldfish. Every day it just resets.
You're busy.
It's
That's what I'm
like,
here for. Take the load off of you a little bit.
It's like Westworld, man. Every morning I wake up, it's just a new day, but I just live out the same day over and over and over again. Okay, so normally when I'm talking about Nick Ahmed, he's hitting 6th, 7th, or 8th, and I don't enjoy it. When he hits 2nd, it's a much different outcome. So yeah, Ahmed grades out really well for me today, as expected, in cores hitting 2nd against the lefty. Doesn't shock me as much. I wasn't putting the pieces together. Boyd and Verlander, Dodgers, Royals. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. I mean, this isn't you're not getting the greatest hitters here, but I like the Twins with the
Jays.
The Jays leverage against Tehran.
Yeah, of course you do. All right.
Rosario's double donging tonight, man.
Let's see what we've got going with Bauer. I'm just going to do Bauer, and since there's only 12 lines, it's just Bauer plus whoever shows up. Royals, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. Diamondbacks with a 3-man Twins. Okay, this one I like. Dodgers with the 3-man Yankees, including Stanton and Judge.
Dodgers.
Oh, that has Gallardo in it. Fuck that.
So Gallardo's 47.
Go to Sal Romano or drop down from Judge to a different Yankee. Maybe drop down from Judge to Gardner, or from Judge to Gardner maybe, or Judge to
you could get in Rosario and just make it a sick lineup.
All right, let's drop from Aaron Judge to Eddie Rosario.
So now you get a 5-2-1.
And then we'll get out of Gallardo and go to... Oh, shit.
Covey.
No.
Come on, he's good.
I mean, probably
Lopez.
Eric. No, it's not Lauer. Yeah, it's got to be Lopez in this scenario.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a much better hand-built lineup.
You could even, I think, couldn't you get up to Morrison if you want to go 5-2-1 Twins?
No.
Maybe not. Morrison 35 or something.
Yeah, we're short 100 then.
Yeah, that's why you get to Cubby.
I'm
Now
good.
you got 500 extra to play with.
I'm good. Oh, yeah, I'll be all right there. What's Didi? 51?
Is he?
I don't know.
51.
I'm guessing.
Feels like 2 hours ago we talked about the Yankees.
45. So. All right, so if I was really looking at a combination here, I would be starting with Rich Hill. And then... I mean, Rich Hill Verlander is going to be like the chalk pairing. Who do I have that would be good with Rich Hill that's under-owned? I mean, it's Rich Hill and Bauer, honestly. I'd like to see what that looks like. Because that's a combo that I like that no one's going to be on.
Yeah, I see it. It's right there.
So I only have one, but I'm going to lock them both and do 20 quick lineups. If Bauer's going to be unowned, I definitely like going to Bauer plus Rich Hill to like even out the exposure.
I don't think he's going to be unowned. I think he will be underowned, though. It's pretty safe to say.
Yeah, what I meant was like,
yeah,
if Verlander is going to be in the 30s, then the Rich Hill Bauer combination is going to be underowned as a group compared to what it probably should be.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of Blue Jays. Ew, Mets. I figured that would have fit in better, but... Okay, so Dodgers Pirates with Bell, Mercer, Dickerson. That I can do.
Mm-hmm.
5-man Rays with Russell Martin, Solarte, and Teoscar. I like that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bauer's ownership is going to go up like Barrios yesterday.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to look at? I don't want to hop to FanDuel because there's nothing to really look at.
No, I'm good.
Any questions, guys? Get them in now. And if it's the either-or questions that I've seen for most of this, you could just skip those.
Yeah. We've been on for
We're not doing
an hour.
either-ors at 10:30 in the morning. Like, I can get scratched. Happy to take those in the live stream, or at night. But yeah, either-or is not really... 10:30 in the morning is not the spot for it. 20% of the guys that are projected to play today won't play, so... I don't know if it's 20%, but that sounds right to me, right? Maybe 15. 1 to 2 guys from each lineup, not actually in the lineup.
Yeah.
Derek Lowe, you are quite welcome.
Thanks, Derek Lowe.
Honestly, we don't need a lot of thanks. This is just awesome to do.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's not a lot of arm twisting to want to talk about baseball for an hour and like have that just be what we do. So, no need to thank you guys for showing up because we wouldn't be allowed to do this stuff if no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
If we had 6 viewers, like, none of this happens.
De Los Santos ownership, you got to be premium to know that. I don't know what we have it projected at, but I'm assuming it's pretty low.
It is. It's.
I don't have interest in him.
It's 3. I'll happily tell you it's 3.
Okay.
What is Rich Hill to be a top scorer? On DraftKings, Rich Hill is 15%, on FanDuel 7.
Yeah. This is premium data, Josh.
Yeah, but we want people to come to the streams to get like nuggets. I'm out here like Hansel and Gretel leaving breadcrumbs for everybody to lead them into our chat.
Yeah, that's true.
This is the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. So outside of like just being drunk in college every day, but that doesn't count. You can't make a career out of that. Although I guess you can.
Exactly. Some people try to.
Yeah, you got it. That one's even harder to do. This one's not going to kill me from, well, at least substances. It might kill me from stress.
That's probably good, right?
Yeah.
Someone asked about SP2 if you're going to Bauer, I think. And for me, I'm probably going to like a Lopez or Teheran. Covey, I don't think is the worst option. It's not pretty, though.
No, it's not. I mean, if Eric Lauer weren't 14%, I'd like him a decent amount as a value play because it's in Petco. But he is, so I don't. That's it. Alrighty. Best of luck tonight. Check out all the articles on the website. Check out Quick Hits later this afternoon. If you're a subscriber, you'll be getting the game plan email. I think that's the name of it. I don't know. You'll get an email.
Daily game plan.
Daily game plan. There we go. And then tune into the live stream tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern. No Joshy, but I'll go in to pick a home run and get it right. As per usual, be Jake and Chris. So good luck tonight, guys. Adios.